Hey guys, so today we're going to do some practice with sensory details. Sensory details. You might recall you took some notes on sensory details last week. Sensory details are the words in the story that appeal or make the reader believe that they are in the story with you. They do this by talking about how things look, or feel, or smell, or sound. These details bring your story to life. When you write your personal narrative, you will have sensory details. But before you can write your own story, we're going to do some practice with sensory details, and we're going to write a practice paragraph together using some of the subjects here on this worksheet. So while we are talking today, I want you to make sure you are writing down the ideas that I mentioned. The 5 subjects on your worksheet today are going to be baking cookies, like maybe chocolate chip or peanut butter cookies. So baking cookies. The second one is a haunted house, ooh, which is very appropriate because it is almost Halloween. The third one is swimming in an ocean. I'm not sure if all of you have swam in an ocean before, but it is different than swimming in a lake, so we'll talk about swimming in an ocean. The fourth thing is something called a circus. A circus is a show that you can go watch where there are animals and there are clowns and there are all kinds of entertaining things to see. And the final one is the mall. In this case, let's think about the mall as the Mall of America. I'm sure most of you have probably been there, to the Mall of America. Okay. So we are going to begin with doing the subject of baking cookies. Baking cookies, okay? And so for this one, we need to think about a few things. Imagine, if you will, that you are making cookies. Maybe you've made cookies before. Maybe you have not made cookies before. But I know all of you have eaten cookies before, so you have some experience. If you are in the kitchen, and you are baking, what is something that you might feel or touch when you are baking cookies? Think about that for a minute. What might you feel? What might you see? When we have the word sight, it means what do you see? What do you see when you are looking around your kitchen baking cookies? The next one, what do you smell? What do you smell when the cookies are baking? Here's the best one. What can you taste with your mouth, with your tongue? And then finally, what sounds do you hear? What might you hear while baking cookies? What might you hear? All right, so I put together some ideas that I'm going to show you now. I'm apologizing in advance because this turned out kind of weird. But the first thing I wrote is that you might be touching gooey dough. When you have the dough in your hands, it's ooey and gooey between your fingers. The word gooey is definitely a word that makes me think about a feeling, like touching something. You've all probably seen your parents cooking, or you've cooked before and you've touched ooey dough. It's like how bread feels before you bake it. You might see the ingredients all over the counter. When we bake cookies at my house, there's eggs, there's flour, there's sugar, there's chocolate all over. What do you smell? I smell that sweet chocolate baking in the oven. It smells so good. What do you taste? Melty, sweet, delicious chocolate in your mouth. What might I hear? If I'm baking, you have to put a timer. You have to set a timer on your phone. so you don't burn the cookies. So you might hear something that goes ding, and it means the cookies are ready. The cookies are ready. So you can pause this video if you'd like, and you can copy the things that Miss Tinty wrote for baking cookies. The second thing that we have on our list today is something called a haunted house. A haunted house. And let me just give you an idea of what that might look like. A haunted house. Ooh, scary. Very scary. Okay, so a haunted house. Maybe you've been to one at Halloween time. Maybe not. But for the haunted house, I said something you might touch might be the handle of a doorknob when you open the door, or you might touch the wall. What might you see? Bloody zombies. Ooh. Or darkness. You might not see anything at all because it's dark. What might you smell? Well, I didn't get a chance to write it in the box, but you might smell sweat. People running away scared. What might you taste? You might taste your own tears because you are so scared. And what do you hear? Well, this one is the most important because what you will hear will be the strange means like weird, sounds. Woo! Woo! These are the things that you will hear in a haunted house. Oh, I'm scared just thinking about it. Okay, I couldn't get mine to be on this page, but you will be able to do it in Notability. Now, I would like you to think about 3 more things. I want you to think about swimming in an ocean. Okay? What might you touch? What might you hear? What might you smell or taste? And then I want you to think about a circus. If you have never seen a circus, you don't know what it is, I'll show you a picture. But you could choose something different if you want. But this is a circus. Maybe you've seen a movie about the circus. What might you hear or smell or taste? You can make it up if you don't know. Or if you want to cross this off and try something different, you can do that too. The last thing is the mall. I know you've all been to the mall before. The Mall of America, probably. And when you walk around the mall, what do you see? What do you hear? If you are walking around here, you hear a lot of interesting things and see a lot of interesting things. But what if you're just walking around the mall? What might you see? Okay, so for today, you are going to complete this chart telling about the things you hear, smell, see, taste, and feel in these different places. When you complete this chart, you will submit it on Schoology.